I help people get in the best shape of their life, but I've just signed up to do a photo shoot myself. So how, why, and what is it that I'm even doing? So why even am I doing a photo shoot at the age of 23 as a transformation coach? Well, I think the main thing is that if I'm asking my clients to get to a level where they're in the shape of their life, then I should be willing to do that as well. I should be able to push myself to the same level. There shouldn't be a thing that I ever ask my clients to do that I'm not willing to do myself. And I always say that to them, that I absolutely am willing to do anything that I ask them to do. But I've never truly proven that. I want to be able to walk the walk and get into the best physical shape of my life to prove to them that I can lead from the front. I am who I say I am. Now, I've got a big coaching community and I've got a lot of clients behind me, but I want to be able to take things that little bit further. Now, obviously I'm 23 and I've been in decent shape for a good 4, maybe even 5 years now. And when I was 18 and I started at a different gym, they tried to push me into a photo shoot then. And at 18, I was not ready for that. And a lot of people underestimate what it truly takes to get into the shape that I'm going to get into in October. Now it's April right now, and we're in quite a nice phase where we're pushing calories up because I need to add a little bit of tissue before we go into that big cut. But the true reason I really want to do this photo shoot is, like I say, to be able to walk the walk in front of all of my clients and say, look, I'm asking you to do all of the stuff that I've done. I've got to that level. I know what hunger feels like because it's not the greatest feeling in the world. But the result and the reward for it afterwards is absolutely amazing. And the thing with this is that I believe every single transformation or fat loss coach should be in shape themselves. And don't get me wrong, being in shape is completely different to being photo shoot or stage lean. It's a completely different thing. I've been in shape for 4 years. No one would look at me and go, wow, he's a world-class physique. But I'm in shape, and it just shows that you practice what you preach. And I really want to nail that down. Like, if you went to a business coach or you went to someone who you were going to trust with your finances and they were broke themselves, would you truly trust them? I don't believe so. And that's why I think that depending on your goals, your coach should have achieved that or should be practicing what they preach every single day. But again, being in shape doesn't mean that that coach is absolutely shredded. And also, it doesn't mean that they know what they're doing. Because most coaches have lived in the gym since they were about 16. So they should be in decent nick themselves. But being in shape means that they practice what they preach consistently. And that's what I want to get down in this photo shoot, is being able to practice what I preach to every single one of my clients. And it's simply just about having some self-respect and some credibility there. Now, don't get me wrong, I've built a good client base without doing a photo shoot. I'm not saying that this photo shoot is now going to bring me a load of new clients and it's going to absolutely skyrocket my business, because that's not the reason why I'm doing it. The reason why I'm doing it is to, again, gain some more respect for myself. I've struggled with, this is going to sound very contradictory to what I'm doing, but I've struggled with body dysmorphia for quite a while, to be fair. And I've only just started to understand why and sort of come out of that. So now I feel like I'm in a more positive mind frame to actually do something like this. And a lot of my clients struggle with it as well. So it's one of the biggest challenges that I will face, is generally the body dysmorphia going through this. But I'm super, super excited. And this first stage, I believe, is going to be the hardest for me because we're pushing up calories. And for me, who used to be a little chubby kid when he was 14, that's scary because I've had abs for about 3 years. Maybe he's not absolute chiseled great cheese on them, but there's been abs there. Now, they might fade a little bit in the next couple of weeks. And I've just got to be fine with that. I've got to sit with that feeling and know that the reward in however many months' time is going to be worth it, because it's a transformation. And then I suppose the next biggest thing for me, and one of the questions I've been asked massively from a lot of people, is why have I got a coach to do this if I'm a coach myself? And I ask this to any busy person who's got a professional job, who is rushed off their feet, right? The last thing I want to think about at the end of the day, when I've been programming for my clients, when I've done loads of content, is what I'm doing in the gym. I would rather just have my coach tell me, this is what you need to do, and I turn up and execute it. It makes my life so much easier, and it also means that it takes any of my emotion out of the process, because if it was up to me, I probably wouldn't be pushing up calories, because I've always been scared of putting on that little bit of body fat. However, I can't be, because that's how I'm going to grow more tissue and actually get to the photo shoot in a better shape. And that's why I have a coach, is to take those decisions out of it, take the emotional element out of it, and have someone who is professional, who, it's the exact same thing my clients do for me. They put all the trust in my hands, so they can just show up to the gym and I can go, right, this is what you're doing in the gym. Outside of the gym, this is your nutrition. That's exactly why I have a coach while I'm going through this whole process. And a lot of the time it is accountability. It becomes so much different when you're the client yourself. Like, I hold 30 to 40 people on a daily basis to account to what they said they were going to do. But then when it comes to me, I might let little things slip. I might, that sauce, just chuck it on. Whereas when I have a coach, I'm a little bit more accountable to myself. So I know that I'm going to get a better result by having that accountability there. And that plays a huge part in it. And then the process itself is a long process, and it's a longer process than a lot of you might think. It's not, right, we're going to diet for the next 12 weeks and we're going to get to the photo shoot. The photo shoot's in October and we're in April now. Like I've said many times, we are going through a phase of putting a little bit of tissue on, getting a little bit uncomfortable, putting a bit of size on for the first time in a while, and then we will start to diet down for the photo shoot. What you need to understand is none of this is sexy. None of it's an extreme. When I'm cutting, none of the diet that I do will have a name. It'll not be a fancy diet. It'll just be what works, because a lot of the time, well, every single time, fat loss and putting on muscle is simple. It's just not that easy, because you've got to stay consistent with it for a long period of time. And that's the hard part, is the consistency. It's not the actual doing it, because sometimes it will get boring. And I can guarantee right now, it's all quite new to me. The motivation's high. I'm up, I'm buzzing, messaging my coach. Yeah, training's been class, apart from the past couple of days where I've not been able to make it out of bed. But there will be stages in this that I don't feel amazing. And I'm like, right, come on, let's push through it. However, it comes back to my first point. I would ask my clients to stay consistent. I would ask my clients to keep pushing through. So if I can't do that myself, I'd say I'm a bit of a fraud. And then again, when it comes to the process, we're going to be adjusting things weekly. But some weeks, things will stay exactly the same. Like this week's was my first proper check-in. And because I was ill, we can't really have a good reading of calories. The calories have been there, don't get me wrong, but we've not adjusted anything. And that's absolutely fine. That's my coach doing his job. If nothing needs changing, we don't need to change a thing. Whereas too many people get bored after 2 weeks and want to change something. Whereas if we can focus on the simple things, then being consistent with those is going to get us to where we want to be when it comes to October. And the funny thing is, when it comes to training and when it comes to get ready for this photo shoot, this right now is the most rest days I have ever taken in about 4 or 5 years. I was one of those who was like, right, smash the gym every day and surely I'm going to get better results, but that wasn't the case. And now I go to the gym 4 times a week. That's how much I lift. And then I'll do 3 20-minute bike sessions and that's it. Now this may increase when we get into that, start cutting and start getting lean and start leaning out. The cardio will probably increase, and I expect it to, and the expenditure is probably going to be at a higher level. But it just goes to show the importance of rest days, and people miss those out. But that's a completely different video, and I could go on a 15-minute tangent about rest days. But it just goes to show that this training, it's not going to be extreme. It's focusing on the basics, done right, done consistently, to show up in that photo shoot in the best shape of my life. And to be honest, the reality that most people are avoiding with this is everyone wants the end result. Everyone wants that photo shoot look. Don't get me wrong, you might not want a photo shoot look. You might just want to lose a little bit of stubborn belly fat, and that's absolutely fine. And that's mostly the people that I work with. But I want to get to that stage and I really want to test myself. Now, people want to get there without going through the process, without going through those days where it is slightly boring, where things have stayed the same, where you've checked in with your coach and you've absolutely smashed the week and there's nothing to change. So you just got to go and smash another week. A lot of people want to avoid that. And that's exactly why I'm doing this, to understand the whole process at a deeper level. To, one, improve my coaching. Because doing this And getting in this shape will give me a whole new understanding of what it actually takes to get to that level. And then when I'm putting my clients through their own fat loss journey, through their own transformation journey, I've got a much better understanding of what they're exactly going through. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand my clients that are with me better than absolutely anyone. I can tell you exactly what's going through their head. Sometimes I message them before they even message me after they've finished the session because I know exactly what's going on. But I want to understand the whole process on a deeper level just to upgrade my coaching to make me a better coach. And don't get me wrong, I've already got world-class transformations. And again, I'm not doing this to grow my coaching, but it will make me a better coach at the end of it. So I'm going to document the whole thing. What's working, what's not, how I'm feeling as I go through it, and absolutely everything that I'm doing all the way up to the photo shoot in October. So if you want to follow along for the journey, if you want to know exactly my thoughts, how I'm getting on, or if you want to see me suffer, then probably subscribe and watch the next videos. But I'm going to document my whole training journey from now until October with some value videos added in there as well. As you know, I am a coach at the end of the day and I love to help you guys. So if that sounds good, then click subscribe, follow along and watch the next video.